Okay, Mark Rosetta here, and I am with some students from NZIPP. Where are you guys from?
We're all from Art Institute, yeah.
From our institute. Why do you enter the awards for? Why bother?
It's honestly just a good chance to kind of see your work showcased alongside other people at the same stage of your career.
Yeah.
And get some good feedback from people who've been doing this for like a long, long time. So,
Yeah. So out of all the choices, like being the Gen Zs and extra, as you are, we just had a conversation about that as well. Like, why do you think it's important to come to the awards? I'm going to ask you for that one.
That's a tough one. Yeah, just hearing what everyone else has to say.
Yep.
And
see if we're truly professional.
To be what?
Getting your professional opinions and stuff helps a lot.
If you weren't here, where do you get your opinions from, Georgia? Online?
Not sure. Yeah, I think like it's all valuable. We're all learning still, obviously. So like having the opinion of everyone judging us just helps us grow.
Do you find the opinions online compared to the opinions here are two different things?
Yes. Yeah.
In what way?
I think in person it's just better. Like. Well, also like watching the judging live is a different experience as well. So like watching and seeing them go up and stare and seeing them point at different things is really valuable. And online, I feel like you don't get as in depth.
Yeah.
So
more honest. Yeah.
More honest.
Honest judging's good because you're kind of online just like, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never actually get real feedback.
Yeah. What's your thoughts? I'm going to go down this end. What's your thoughts on like social media, TikTok, Instagram, all those people have hundreds of thousands of followers, but have been in business for, I don't know, 5 years, 2 years, maybe one, giving unsolicited advice compared to
unsolicited. Not fair.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain level of trust that you get when you talk to people that have been in the industry for decades. And they can tell you a lot of what they learned, and because there's so many people attending this, you get so many different perspectives. Whereas I feel like social media is very just, that's good, that's bad. Here it's much more constructive, much more detailed. You can learn a lot, whereas there it's kind of just a guessing game.
So if you've got followers, there's some people out there that just have posted 40, 60, 80, 100 videos on all photography stuff. They've been doing it for 6 months, a year, giving advice on what you should do and shouldn't do. Like, how do we decipher between, how do I put it in simple, what's good advice and what's just bullshit, to put it simple? What's just crap advice?
I think what I always find is a good decider is if someone's explaining this is how you do something and they talk about it in a way that's the only approach. To me, that's always a bit of a red flag. Whereas when you engage with like more experienced professionals, they'll know there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's important to know more than one way, otherwise you can get stuck and locked into it. And so like when you are watching TikTok like advice videos or explainers, if they go, here are my night settings, and they have one specific setup that works in one specific way, that's an absolute giveaway. You should be looking for other advice besides that.
Yeah. Now, you're at the start of your career. I've been doing this for, there's a lot of grey in my hair, so how long is that? Just on 20 years now. What would it mean to you? I wasn't that old. What would it mean to you? That's a long time, isn't it? Absolutely. Like, what would it mean? Like, what? I just think that if this was not to happen in another 5-10 years, because people just don't turn up because it's online, it's on social media, it's on TikTok, it's on wherever. Like, what would it mean to you guys growing up, you know, with your future careers, to not have events like this to go to and learn from?
I think it would be quite insulated. Like you would kind of be in a bubble where, kind of like Cam was saying, where like it's good or it's bad. You wouldn't have that breadth of advice that kind of tells you where you are. And it would be hard to figure out how far along the trail you are to kind of cracking or breaking through like a new threshold.
Or just making connections, because I feel this is much more personal. You get to interact with people, you get to meet new people, you spark up conversations, and you can send someone a text or a DM or a message, but it's not that same interpersonal bonding or connection that you might get with events like these.
Okay, so how do we get? Oh, this is like my vein of my existence at the moment. How do we get younger photographers, 20 to 25, 20 to 30, to actually come to these events to show some value? Like, how do we reach you guys? Obviously, you're in like you're in school anyway, so you're already in it. But how do we reach people who have never experienced this? Anyone? Georgia?
I don't know. It's very broad.
Very broad. It's a loaded question, isn't it?
It is. I think just like putting it out there more. Like, obviously, we all know about NZIPP because we are students at RI. We know that our like photography lecturers have entered. They teach us that we should be doing this, but like I feel like maybe the general public doesn't know as much about it. Like, I've spoken to people who I know who didn't study photography, who know nothing about this. So maybe it's just reaching a different audience further and wider, even in schools, like the school age, their students, they could benefit from this.
Absolutely.
If they wanted to make this into their career at university or after, something like this would be great for them, but they probably don't know about it. So
cool.
Make it more accessible. Having stuff, have people know about it, have them be able to participate. Because stuff's a lot more engaging when you've got some skin in the game.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, just get them started, and then you can go along the path with them.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Just for the final look, this would be the future of our photography of the NZIPP. Just to let you know that we were here first. I was the first interviewer.
What a judging panel it is.
What a judging panel. Actually, on saying that, have you played the game yet during the judging when you're putting scores in and you're wondering if you're close or not?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah, we were volunteering backstage, Georgie and I, we were definitely doing that.
Yeah. Are you close? Are you kind of like,
I think I narrowed it down to within like 3 or 4 for most of them.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
It always